Hi, and welcome to week 2. You'll notice that moving forward, I have the modules published, but you won't be able to actually see anything in them until Monday morning. So if you're clicking on them and it's not opening, that's just because they're not going to open until Monday at 6 a.m. Then you can go through everything. All right, so this week, we're going to dive into more what is graphic design, what are we going to learn in this course, all of that. So you can go through the tasks or you can just go through the modules. Again, every week is going to look the same. Everything that you have for this week, week 2, will be in the Module 2 section. You can click on them individually or start at the top and just go through them. This video will be posted here. Then I really like how AIGA defines design. So I want you to read through this, think about what you think of design, how they explain it, examples of graphic design, things that you see all around. Then we're going to look at the principles and elements of graphic design. Make sure that you're familiar with these, you know what they mean. If you don't, feel free to send me an email, look it up, but you want to get comfortable knowing the principles and elements of design. These are things that you're going to want to talk about and critique. You're going to want to pay attention to when you're creating. And as a designer, these are very important to know. I gave you some websites below. I would just click on them, take a look. You can open them in a new tab. For instance, Elements of Design, and they give some examples. So some really good sites. If you feel like, man, I am really familiar with all of these, I would still just look through these, look at the examples, and see what you think. We have a discussion this week. I want you to really think, what's the most important part of being a graphic designer? It's a very open question. Think about it in terms of what tools are the most important, why is the job role important to society? You'll make your original post by Wednesday night and then respond to a minimum of 2 of your peers by Sunday. I think it's really important, especially in times like these, that we think about what graphic design brings to the world. Now we've got some resources, so things you should just be familiar with. Take a look. Some of these are resources, some of these are groups, some of these are just for some inspiration, but you should kind of bookmark some of these or just be familiar with what they are so you can kind of go to them whenever you need them. And then we have this week's assignment. You will create 3 abstract designs using your initials. Each design will include a minimum of 5 variation sketches, totaling 15 to be turned in as development items. So that means we are going to sketch 15 sketches from 3 ideas. So I have an idea. I draw it out, and then I'm going to kind of move it around, think about these principles that we've been talking about, and do 4 other variations of the same idea. So they should be similar. And then you will have 3 different times that you do this. So 3 main designs. Each main design will have some sketches that show variation. You know, maybe I think I want to just do JF, 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 and really focus on repetition. Well, then maybe I think of doing it horizontally, diagonally. Maybe I make some shapes or some forms. I'm still following that same main idea, but I'm giving different variations to see which one is more successful as a composition. Okay? Our goal is to explore letter forms up close and think about abstract design. You don't necessarily need to see the full J and F or know that that's part of the J and the F. I have a video that comes after this in the modules that even goes more into depth with this assignment. In arriving at designs, consider the relationship of figure to ground and figure to ground ambiguity. Possibilities include, but you can feel free to go way beyond this. Reversing one letter out of another, adjusting scale, rotation, style, enlarging a letter form so that it overlaps. Think about typography. Maybe you've taken type yet, maybe you have not, but you can use different letter forms and different font styles to create these designs. The only thing I make sure I do not want you to do is to distort the letter form. So, if the J is tall and skinny, I do not want you to make it short and fat. You have to think about how to use the line and the form that way. I only want you to use black and white again. I don't want any outlines or strokes. I just want you to think about the fill, but you can think about positive, negative space. Maybe you have a black background and your letter forms are white. You can use whatever font you like. I would start with Garamond or Gill Sans just to take a look, but again, you can take it from there. Again, this is going over creating the sketches, picking the most successful idea from each version, create them in Illustrator. Each design should fit in a 7x5 rectangle. It must be portrait. You can use 3 artboards in one file or have them in separate files, whatever you would like. Submit a zip file with the sketches and your Adobe PDF. If Canvas will let you, you can also just submit the sketches as one piece and the PDF as another. It doesn't have to be a zip, but sometimes I find that zip files are easier for Canvas to comprehend. Okay, so this is due Sunday. And again, there's a little clarification video up next. And then that's it for the week. All right, so take a look, dive into what design means, start building your discussion and working on your assignments. And let me know if you have any questions.